All right, that's one. Stephan, how you looking?
Pretty, pretty damn good, as you can see, my friend.
Okay. The world is moving slow. I thought you had you in the matrix. So let's do
Pretty
this right.
damn good, as you can see, son.
Yeah, yes. I think you have a cross between a little bit of Wyclef John go over there, a little bit of Blues Brothers. Um,
The Blues Brothers, yeah.
yeah.
I like that. I like that. I
Uh,
like that. What's
and
up, buddy?
it is episode, which number is this? 36,
36.
season 3 of Roots Heart and
And soul. Ooh.
Roots Heart Soul podcast. Todd, Chef Todd Richards, of course, the great Chef Stephan on Heritage Radio Network. It is hot everywhere, seems to be the theme for this summer already. It is a blistering
And
90
we
something
want to
degrees here
welcome
in
we
Atlanta.
want to
So,
welcome all of our followers, our supporters, everybody who's been supporting us the last 36 episodes. Welcome, welcome to Roots Heart and Soul, everybody. How you doing, my brother?
I am good. Getting ready for 4th of July weekend coming up. It won't be that much of a break, but anytime us chefs can get a little bit of break, we have to take it. So
Yes,
looking
you
forward
do.
to that.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, you do. So I
I
have
have to
some
give
good
a special
news.
shout. Oh, okay, all right. You do your news, I'll do mine. So
I have some good news to share with you.
okay.
Very positive, uplifting. Went
Mm-hmm.
to uh, went to the doctors today to get checked up, and
Mm-hmm.
things are looking up.
That's great.
Things are
That is
looking up,
great.
man.
Uh oh.
That's why you see me.
As we got the fedora on, huh?
That's why you see me looking like this.
It's gonna be a hot Haitian summer, you know.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, baby.
Yeah.
I'm
So I have
feeling
to, if I'd
good.
be remiss if I don't give the young one, Tedrick Simon August Richards, the czar. Today is his birthday. He is turned 18 today after a illustrious high
Ah!
school career graduation. So he turned 18 today. If people don't
So
know
so.
or understand, Tedrick was born 1 pound, 11 ounces at 27
Oh
weeks.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And now this boy is
Well. Here's the
18.
good news. Our
Yeah.
sons were born the same month.
Oh, really? That's right. And you got a wedding coming up for your son, right?
Yeah, 21. He's 21 years
Wow,
old.
man. Well, that proves two things. We can
One
raise great
pound.
kids. We can raise great kids, but we're getting older and older every single damn day. You know,
But the fact that he was born 1 pound
one
and a
pound,
few
11 ounces.
ounces,
Yeah,
that is by the grace of God, man.
yeah, yeah. And interesting side note: Lawrence Weeks, Chef Lawrence Weeks, who we had on Retired Soul podcast.
Hmm.
Chef Lawrence's dad was delivered Tedrick. He was OBGYN that
Oh
delivered Tedrick. Yeah,
wow. Oh
yeah. So
wow.
that's really just
Well, we
a
got we
side
got to talk
nugget.
about we got to quickly talk about something else, and we will be talking to our guest. We will be talking to a guest about that same subject.
Mhm.
June is Men's Mental Health Month.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Um,
it is.
and one of the things that that I advocate very personally is mental health, especially for us in this industry, women and men. But especially this month is men's mental health, and one of the most important things that I'm grateful for is to have my brother Todd Richards in my life, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. The sentiment is exactly the same. It is Men's Mental Health Month. One thing that we always have to do is check in with ourselves. The airline says it's best secure your own mask before you secure the mask of others, because you can't be in a position to take care of others if you're not taking care of yourself. So, with that note and everything, it's really great to talk about it, to be advocates for everyone's health, and just giving a shout out for Men's Mental Health Month this year.
So funny thing, what a pleasure to finally connect with this guy. He's been an amazing friend. We've known each other practically 15 years.
Right.
He's been to Haiti
Wow.
about a half dozen times.
Right.
This boy is been dubbed he's half Haitian by
Yeah.
by whatever
By hook or crook.
by
Yeah. The
whatever
thing about you Haitians, though, everyone is half Haitian. It's like the
he's
old
half
African American
Haitian.
folklore,
Everyone.
or it's like we always got Native American in our blood. Yeah, we don't have a drop, but at
But
least
I'm
you
gonna
guys do it
tell
with
you,
kindness. Uh,
but I'm gonna tell you, he's one of the most passionate guy I have met about food, about being a chef. And when you see this guy in the kitchen, he's a beast. He's about 5 foot short, but goddamn, he can cook. He can cook, man.
Oh,
well, even tiny carrots get love too. So.
I'm telling
I
you,
like that. I
this
like
boy can cook,
that.
man.
I like only even tiny carrots get love.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Welcome, Mr.
All
Chef
right.
Amadeus.
Hey, it's great to be here. Yeah, I've known you guys for quite some time. Haiti, oh man,
Right. Except this liver can talk.
My time
Let's
in
just put
Haiti.
it this way. He's had
Yeah.
a lot of rum.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
all I'm
Stunt,
gonna
stunt,
say.
stunt his growth, huh? Is that what it is?
Okay. He has had a lot of rum.
Yeah.
A lot of rum, prestige beer. Yeah, we have, like I say, I learned so much cooking in Haiti to the point where, as you travel as a chef, one of the things I have to tell the younger ones, they have this ego like, oh, I think I could beat you cooking. I think I can outcook you. And instead of me telling them, you can't, I always ask this: do you travel? It's like, well, no. Well, you have no chance in beating me because I travel a lot. And what you think is brand new and special, I know a chef that did it 5 years ago. But
Right.
if you're not out there collaborating with different chefs, talking to different chefs, you're still in this little box that you think you're outside of. You're outside of your box, but not outside of the box. Um, and going to Haiti was one of those things where I had to step up and do something because the caliber of chefs that were there from France, from Canada, from the Caribbean, I'm just like, oh, this is crazy. Um, so yeah, it's been a ride. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stefan, go ahead.
And my
Give us that.
passion.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Amadeus.
So you talk about my passion for cooking. Believe it or not, my passion comes from cooking because take a deep breath because there is not a height requirement in the kitchen. It is a skill requirement. And I
Oh,
was
wow.
bullied as a kid. I
Hmm.
was bullied as a kid. So cooking, you could be taller than me, but if you don't have that passion to learn something new every day, yeah, it's gonna be yeah, you're gonna have a hard time convincing me that you're better than me. I don't care what your
So,
accolades say or anything like that.
so given that conversation and how we started,
Right.
this young gentleman based in Jacksonville, Florida, Chef Amadeus is an award-winning chef, Navy veteran, Food Network winner, and the creator of Southern Passion, salt-free spices, and now the host of the Southern Passion Lounge podcast. With over 25 years of experience as a professional chef, he blends Southern and Caribbean flavors into unforgettable culinary experiences. With his new podcast on the way, he combines food, travel, golf, and culture. His ultimate mission: to inspire flavorful living. Travel, swing, eat, and repeat. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Chef
I mean,
Amadeus.
I mean, you don't let Stephan read your bio, man, because you know we need some background music. You know, we need everything. You go, you know,
Look,
yeah,
you be like, who is he talking about?
right, right,
Who is he talking about? I don't know that dude.
right.
But like I say, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a very nice pleasure to be here amongst both of you guys because you know you both are um, um, very talented in both of your rights and everything. I haven't been able to cook with Todd yet, but cooking with Stefan and what he's put me out there to do in Haiti, I appreciate that because it makes a great conversation piece that I've cooked in Haiti. I played golf in Haiti, which that's a
Right.
playing golf in Haiti was the most interesting golf course I've ever played. Um,
Well,
and
it was
God
the only
bless
golf
what's
course in
happened.
Haiti, man. It was the only
Well,
golf
here's
course
the
in
thing though,
Haiti.
not only the only golf course, but I've been begging to play golf there for the longest. And when I finally got the chance, it was the last time I was there, it was the restaurant's 10th year anniversary. I was the only American chef over there. Everybody else was Haitian chefs. So I go over
Hmm.
there and they set me up to play golf. Now, for those who travel, always get WhatsApp. I'm gonna tell you how it saved my life. I was at the golf course, and when I got done, I gave the guy the envelope I was supposed to give him for playing, and he came back and said, "You don't have enough money." I said, "Well, that's all I got. Everything's supposed to be free." I asked for Wi-Fi. He said, "We don't have Wi-Fi." So now I'm stuck on a golf course. Don't speak the language. Can't speak to
Hmm.
anybody as I'm there by myself. So I went to him and I said the universal language. No Wi-Fi, no money. Man, that dude came
Hmm.
back in 5 minutes with the Wi-Fi.
Right.
Oh, so but yeah, like I said, it was great. Learned a lot of things.
Hmm.
Um, the Haitian chefs that I work with in Haiti, all 5 times I've been there, have been just absolutely mind blowing. Jovan, yeah, that dude there is a beast by himself. Chef Jovens, yeah, he's a beast by
Yeah.
himself. But just hanging out with all the other chefs and doing the chefs under the stars, that event there, nothing like I've never done an event like that because all the chefs came out with these complicated platings, but we all said there's enough talent on this, we can get this out of here. So we had dishes from Chef Paul, the rum chef. Um, it was just amazing. Yeah. So when I talk about Haiti, people like, "You sure you went to the right Haiti?" I'm like,
All right. Well,
I'm like,
yeah.
"Yeah, I was there."
That's what
Yeah.
they usually say,
Mhm.
and then they get a surprise.
Absolutely,
Oh,
they do.
it was mind blowing the fact that when we got there, all the Haitian chefs told the American chefs the rules and regulations of what to do, how to do, where to do, and all that good stuff. So we were all tight. We was all on WhatsApp, communicating everything. I even got and the great thing was they took us to see Haiti, not Port-au-Prince, other parts. So Kiskov, that was fun going up to Kiskov.
Yeah, he went on that
Yeah.
trip too. He went on that trip too.
Yeah.
He went on that trip too.
But just make sure Stefan doesn't do the
It's not
driving.
driving, right?
Oh,
Hey, almost
Uh,
drove us off a cliff.
as a matter of fact, when we went up there, it started raining. Stefan said, "Hey, we gotta go. We gotta go." We like, "Why, dude? We just get in the car.
It's,
We gotta go."
wow, it's unbelievable. Chef Todd Richards, of course, the great Chef Stefan. We're on Heritage Radio Network, Roots Heart Soul podcast. So this, you and I go back. Of course, you and Stefan go back. But let's just talk about the roots of your cooking. Where did you get that? Where did you get that passion for? for the food you prepare for all the audiences that you have served.
So the my base of cooking is Puerto Rican and Southern. That's my roots. That's
I want to
like I
clarify
said, I got bullied as a
American
kid.
Southern. American Southern. I just want to clarify when you say Puerto
Yes.
Rican and Southern, American
Okay, let's
Southern.
go with that.
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah,
just want to
American
understand. Okay.
Southern.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
um, as a kid, I used to get bullied all the time. So I would go in the kitchen, I would go in the house and complain to my mom and my grandmother, and they were like, "Listen, we can't do anything about people bullying you, but come in the kitchen and come in the house, and one day you'll find something everybody wants you to be a part of." So cooking has always been um, that hideaway for me, and so
Mhm.
it's very passionate for me because I tell people this and they laugh at me all the time. I used to be afraid of tall people,
No, I
very
get it.
afraid of tall people, because every time I've been with somebody, I either I've been put in trash cans, dumpsters, the whole 9 yards. But I got smart and figured out by the ninth grade, I figured out how to defeat those bullies by doing this. Because I was always in the house with my mom and my grandmother, I learned how to cook, clean, and sew. So when it came to home ec, the girls didn't know how to cook, clean, and sew. So I
Mm-mm.
would help them with their cooking, their sewing, and they would tell their boyfriends not to bother with me.
Oh,
So
okay.
my cooking got me out of that. And then the cooking came because it was, like I said, it's my safe place. When I'm in the kitchen, I'm comfortable with anything that goes on in the kitchen, cooking different cuisines, learning different things. That's just my safe space. So I have a really passion for creating food that people will just have a tonguegasm about, and that's what I enjoy. One of the things about being who I am is, the journey I've taken is, I don't worry about, oh, did you know that chef got that award or that chef got that award? That doesn't bother me because the Lord will give me what He wants me to have. So I'm cool with that. And I'm always on the road trying new dishes. And once a month, I take a culinary road trip, going
Oh,
somewhere. Don't even care where you go. Just go somewhere and
it's more of
learn without complaining. Because with my podcast, one of the things I want people to understand is to fall in love with the chef, not what he cooks or she cooks. Because I see a lot of food bloggers saying, I didn't like their food, I didn't like their food. But you never ask the chef why he or she cooked it the way they did. They're not from Atlanta. They're from Utah. They're from New York. They're from Chicago. That's what they do in Chicago. And they travel a lot, but the people that are judging them don't travel. That doesn't make sense to me.
mm,
So
mm,
if you're a food blogger, you can't just sit in your city and sit there and be like, I don't like their food, I don't like their food, I don't like. And Atlanta is like Jacksonville, full of transplants, full of transplants.
yes.
So every chef in Atlanta is not from Atlanta.
Opinionated, strongly opinionated transplants. You know.
So a little anecdote for both of you guys. So he talks about getting bullied. I'm about 9 inches taller than him, but still, I learned. You see, living in the Caribbean and growing up in the Caribbean, you have to learn how to fight. So
Mm.
I got into a lot of fights. First of all, because I was shorter than a lot of people.
Even at 5'9". Wow. Okay.
And how to do two things. I learned how to throw rocks, and the first guy who bullied me, I cracked his head open with a rock behind his head, and I caught the reputation of don't f with Chef Stephan,
Yeah.
because and I didn't care who
Crack
you were, I didn't care how tall you were, how big you were, I fight everybody,
Yeah.
and I got
I
my
Stefan,
can.
ass
listen.
I got
Yeah.
my ass handed to me I got my ass handed to me so many times.
Mm.
But listen, you beat me, I come back for you. I will come back for you 10 times
Oh my goodness,
until I
dude.
get you.
Uh, We got a
Listen,
a new name for you,
listen.
Stefan. The
Until I
hands of
get you.
stone, hands of stone. You know.
Okay? Until I get you.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Oh
Listen,
yeah. I
you know,
but that's why I cooking, and I'm always I love cooking with doing collaborative dinners, cooking with chefs that cook totally different than I do. Totally different than I do. That way we can learn from each other. So
Yeah.
I'm always looking to work with other chefs that cook totally different. I've done events with vegan chefs. I've done things with Japanese, the whole nine yards. So my bag of flavors is very deep. It's just not Puerto Rican and Southern. It's Japanese. It's vegan, vegetarian, and I try to be as creative as I can because one thing I always tell the chefs are you got to know who your competition is. And don't say, "Oh, I ain't got no competition." Everybody has competition. And for
Absolutely.
me, my biggest competition are my friends with restaurants cuz my clients will go to your restaurant. So, when I cook for them at their homes, it's always something like, "I ain't never seen that before." Okay, cool. That's what I like. Like I just did a lunch and my dessert was a chocolate brownie with chocolate pasta with strawberries marinated in Grand Marnier, sweet cream sauce, and gold flakes on it. They were like, "Where do you even buy chocolate pasta from?" I said, "That's just it. You
Right.
don't buy it. You got to make it.
Right. You
You
got to
got to
make it.
make
Yeah.
it." And that you got to make it. And that's why on my apron I have a hashtag, and people who follow me on Instagram or social media, it says hashtag some chef shit, because you can't tell me that you're a chef and all I see you is boil and fry. I got to see
Mm.
more than that. That
Or
doesn't
sprinkle.
that doesn't sprinkle. And then here's the thing: there's parsley and paprika everywhere. But then I say, well, but here's the thing though: if you put paprika and parsley everywhere, do me a favor, at least make your own paprika. It ain't that hard. You can make your own smoked paprika and put your own thing. If you did that, I'm cool with that. But if you just grab a bottle and sprinkle it,
I mean, the thing
there,
is,
there's there,
I think your point is well taken. Is that if the paprika is not in the dish, it does not belong on the plate. You know, so I mean
nope.
that's kind of you know, so that's. But I want to go back to the part you were talking about bullying. You know, which is something that is really good to talk about during Men's Mental Health Month, as well as understanding us as chefs in the kitchen. Is bullying in the kitchen? You know, I don't think
yeah,
that's,
oh
well, no,
yeah.
I don't think that, I'm not going to say I don't think, I absolutely know that the kitchen is notorious for being a bully's pulpit, you know? And, you know, how do you all deal with that atmosphere of being bullied in kitchens?
Well, younger me. Oh
Right.
yeah. We're not going to talk about that. But
Right.
now, one of the things I do now is when I go into kitchens and there's always somebody like I'll cook you, I can do this. And one of the things I always tell folks is here: if you're that good, let's get on the line and see what you can do. Because I
Absolutely.
tell people all the time, if you can't handle the line, yeah, yeah. And they're like, because there's a lot of so-called chefs out here that never went to culinary school and they just started doing catering, which is cool. But my problem is you have no speed. You don't have restaurant like when I do my when I was doing my extreme food fights competition, which is coming back soon. Everybody who won worked in a restaurant. Everybody who didn't win was like, man, I ran out of time. That's
Mm.
why I tell people, you say you're better than me. in chess, what they tell you, you think you're good, put them on the clock. Put them on the clock. And so with the extreme food fights, you have 9 minutes to cook 3 dishes. Now, to people in the restaurant, that's a regular Friday night. But
Right.
if you just do catering and a little lunch over here, you don't have that restaurant speed, and the clock is gonna run out. You can't think at that pace of a restaurant cook or chef. And one of the things I always tell these folks that's like, oh, I'm this celebrity chef and I can do this, I can do that. Tell you what, let me take you to a restaurant, and I promise you, I got a dishwasher that probably cooks circles around you.
Wow.
And they don't believe me, but I'm telling you, you're good in that arena, but you can't say and don't know the chef's backgrounds. Hell, I took somebody who was bragging about how good they were. I took them to a high school culinary competition, and the dude was like, "How old is that kid?" I say 16. It's like, but they put
Mm.
out food like that. I said, because they have a passion. They're cooking for a passion, not for clicks. See, a lot of people want to, oh, I got 20 million followers. Cool beans. But are you cooking for them, or you just to get that following? Or do you really have some meat on the bones? Because as we all know as chefs, what do? Todd, if I came to your restaurant about 9, 10 o'clock at night, sitting there with a bunch of other chefs, we drinking, somebody gonna say, let's go in the kitchen and
Yeah,
do some cooking.
absolutely. Oh man,
Now,
you ain't said
now,
at,
now,
at 9
look,
o'clock might be too late. We might be in the middle of
and look,
service.
look. And here's the thing though, those chefs that's never been in the kitchen, they go like, oh yeah, let's go in the kitchen and cook. What they don't realize is this is a food competition that you ain't never seen before. And
Right, you'll never see.
if you and I tell cooks this all the time. You rather be judged as a cook than a chef. Because if you're a cook, you can have the biggest ego in the world, but you're a cook. You're like, you know what? You just a cook, you understand. But if you tell a bunch of chefs, I'm a chef, and you go in the kitchen and you screw anything up, anything, hell
You-
has no
Let,
fury
let,
on how bad and long we gonna talk about you.
let me tell you who's the one who starts it though. It's this guy over here with these sunglasses on. He's the one that starts it. You know, he, he's the one. He go in the back. He just come out. He'll bring out a couple of dishes, sit down on the table. Looking around just to see what the table's like. Just trying to see what the reaction is. I mean, that's why he wants to go to Haiti. He wants to let everybody know that he's the king of Haiti, and it gets everyone started, everyone cooking. It's a solid. But
Listen, listen, listen. I am a humble cook, man. I am
uh,
a humble
Oh,
cook,
come
man.
on.
I'm
Oh,
I'm a humble cook. Listen, you know the most interesting part of my whole career,
mm,
and that includes the first part of my career, which started in the Air Force, is the time I spent in Haiti. I'm gonna give you a quick story, and then I want to talk a little more about mental health. So I moved back to Haiti in 2009, and in 2010 I reconnect with a childhood friend of mine that had a restaurant right across from the U.S. Embassy in Haiti, which you've been to. You've been to my restaurant, um, and you know he's he's all excited. My buddy's all excited. He wants to introduce me. This is Chef Stephan. He's a superstar. Blah blah blah. This and that. Right. So one day we get a visit from the U.S. Embassy because they do an event for 350 people, sit down dinner, uh, called the Marine Ball. It's a celebration of the birthday of the Marine Corps. So they come, we do a tasting for them, and me, hey, I used to cook in the Air Force. I used to do this, so I want to show off. My
right.
dumbass, the dumbass that I am, wanted to show off. So I put together an elaborate menu out of this freaking world and said, I'm gonna blow their minds out of the water. They ain't never seen a dinner like this. So, day of the dinner, I'm cooking roast beef with wasabi jus for 350 people. And I
Wow.
have a home stove to cook all that
Ooh,
roast beef out of.
Wow. You still
ooh.
cooking,
And
ain't
guess
you?
what? In the middle of production, in the middle of production, in the middle of production, the stove looked at me and said, "Buddy, you're tiring me, man. I'm stopping to work." So I go in the office.
Oh,
So I go in the office and I'm panicking. I'm literally panicking. And I said to my buddy and his mother, "The stove is dead. I can't keep cooking those roast beef." And he looks at me and says, "You're the chef. Figure it out."
Mm.
The most humbling situation I will have ever had in my life.
Wow.
That day, I went back in the kitchen. I looked at everybody, and everybody's looking at me. They're looking at me because they're waiting for me to tell them what to do. So I walk around for 2 minutes, walk back in the office. I said, the big store that's behind the restaurant, they sell ovens, right? I need two of those. So of course, we have credit with them. They sent out to get two ovens. Guess what? They sold us the ovens, but the connection for the oven is in another store. That's like that's like 30 minutes away. So I've got ovens, but I got no connection.
Mm. Then you don't
So
have
I
no
got
oven.
no roast beef.
Yeah.
So I calm down, start thinking, put my thinking hat on. I sliced, I took the slicer and sliced paper thin all of the roast beef. I took a big kettle, put my wasabi jus in there, and then right before serving, I dumped the roast beef in the wasabi jus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
Saved my butt. Since that day, I learned just to chill, buddy. I don't tell you what I can do or what
Right.
I cannot do.
Oh,
Okay? I learned
oh,
how to chill and shut
uh,
my mouth. Okay?
wow. Okay.
But talking about mental health, gentlemen, one of the most wonderful things that I have had the privilege of being is part of this chef circle, because many of you have become more than just colleagues, more than just friends. You guys have become family. You guys have become brothers, and I say that uh, in the most loving way, because because of the pleasure I had in producing this festival in Haiti, I have gained a an immense amount of friendships throughout the years. And one of the things that has kept me from going in the deep end when I had my when I had 3 years ago, when my physical situation started, is that I was able to connect with those chefs, and they said, "We got you." How important it is to have somebody you can call or can call you to check on you, especially when we are so caught up. We get caught up in that life, that grind, that nonstop work. That How important it is that to be able to connect with somebody who understands the life that you're going through, um, the grind that you're going through, and can say, "Hey, man, I get it."
Mm.
well, I tell you this. One of the things that I post a lot is about mental health. Because I'm a veteran, I always tell folks, and I posted it several times, a smile on the veteran's face is the best mask you will ever see. I said because what they're going through, you have no idea. Because every veteran has something that triggers them that you have no idea about. And it's the simplest thing. It could be a sound, it could be the tone of your voice. They have flashbacks of just different things. And that's why I highly recommend chefs find a hobby. You ain't got to be good at it, just something that takes you away from the kitchen to give you a break. That's why I love golf. I love camping. Anything outdoors, I'm good with that. I want to make sure that I am Chef Amadeus because what people don't realize is, and I think you guys can get this as well. When people expect you to be you all the time, the smile on your face,
Yeah. Yeah.
the joviant, whatever, they don't know when you go out and talk to them and you finish with everything, you either go to your car, you go to your house, and you have to decompress. And sometimes that decompress will lead to depression. It will lead to
Drug
you
abuse.
start drinking,
Mhm.
drinking beers, doing drugs. That's why this industry is a production industry, which means, yeah, we know as long as you can do your job, a lot of things get overlooked. But there's a lot of things. That's like when they say, when you ask somebody, how you doing? They say, oh, I'm doing fine. Eh, that's what they tell you, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not. So for
Or
me,
what the measurement of fine is, could be
right.
a
It,
different
it,
routine.
it's very. I even myself, I find myself some days with between my medical issues, between just trying to figure out everything, and I try to talk to the young folks that are like, "Oh, I want to start a catering business," and I always tell them this: make sure you have a plan. I said it's not what you think it is. I said, especially if they have a job. I said you have a job. They say, yeah. I say, when do you get paid? They say, I get paid on the 1st and the 15th. Okay. When you're an entrepreneur, you get paid when you get off your butt and you hustle every day to make something happen. And you're going to find yourself sitting on the side of your bed crying, like, what the hell did I get myself into? And I have a lot of them like, oh, no, no, not me, because I got this. All right. I'm not speaking from a brochure.
All right. You're
I'm
speaking
telling
from
you,
experience.
I'm speaking from experience. And then you gotta have a circle of friends that, like Stefan said, they have your back. Call you out of the blue just to say how you doing, not to say, hey man, can I borrow this? Can this happen? I don't need anything. I'm just saying, what's up? How are you doing? That's all it is. And once you get to that point, like when I lived in Seattle, the chefs in the black chefs in Seattle, well, I ain't gonna say the black chefs, all the chefs in Seattle that I dealt with were very they understood everything from,
Right.
oh, I get how you feeling like that. Oh, I know why you feel like that. Do you need any help? And that's the other thing too is the mental help gets worse when I'm in a hole and I call somebody and they say, I can't help you. I can't send nobody to help you. Now you're stressed and it weighs on you on a
But,
regular
but, but
basis.
let me ask you. But let me ask you this question on that point. Is that I think that there's something that we've been taught in kitchens, maybe just in our growing up for men and as men's mental health, is that sometimes we ask for help and it's way too late. It's too far gone. And so how do
So
we
Todd,
better
Todd,
help? Yeah, help our listeners,
I'm gonna tell you
understand.
how.
Mhm.
I got you. I'm gonna tell you how.
Mhm.
So when I worked in restaurants, the one thing I always told people, you will be in the weeds. You're going to be in the weeds.
Mm.
But as long as you let us know before you get there, don't have an ego like, oh no, I can handle this. No, because here's the problem with this. And you both worked in restaurants and you get this. I can be the best chef in the world on grill. I'm the best. I can't nobody out grill me.
Right.
But if my appetizers and salad ain't out yet, I can't do nothing.
It's nothing worse than working on the grill and you have to wait on fries. You know, like you cannot wait on fries at a burger place. Like where are the fries? Especially if you're at a steakhouse and that burger is cooked to temperature and you're waiting on fries. So I understand exactly what you're saying.
So so
And
one of the things so one of the things I always say is this, you know, don't be afraid. Now, here's the caveat to that. I tell them ask for help. But then you have to ask this question. Does the environment allow this person to ask for help without being ridiculed or whatever so they don't want to do it? That's why they don't ask because oh they're gonna talk noise about me because I got 10 tickets and I can't handle them. There has to be an environment where the cook feels great, feels good about saying, "Hey, chef, I need help down here. Chef, I need help down here." And that's why I always tell folks the most important person in your kitchen is your dishwasher, because you can say, "Hey, dishwasher, can you come prep this up and help him on that?" If you don't, as the chef, create a learning environment, yeah, we gonna joke around and all that stuff. But if you don't create an environment that people feel okay, it's okay to ask for help, then that there alone is a lot of stress on that person that's afraid to ask for help.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Then Todd, Chef Todd Richards, of course, the great Chef Stephan. We're on Roots Heart Soul podcast, Heritage Radio Network. Stephan, we got to give a shout out to the Cutting the Curd on Heritage Radio Network, featuring interviews with notable cheesemongers, cheese makers, and cheese lovers. Cutting the Curd is an informative, uh, oh, wow, occasionally delicious way and cheesy way look at curdy, the nerdy, and the downright funky world of artisan cheese. You
I
know?
love cheese.
Yeah, yeah. It's
One of
not
my
good for
favorite
us, but
things.
yeah.
Not good for us. Not
What's
good
your
for.
favorite cheese?
I like Boursin cheese. I like Brie. Um,
I'm gonna tell you a cheese
It,
you need to try. Tellagio.
Tilapia. Oh
mm,
yeah, yeah.
I haven't had
Tellagio
that one
cheese.
yet.
It's
I
like a
haven't had that
brie.
one yet.
Listen,
I like
it's
camembert. I like
soft like a
camembert
brie.
too.
Hmm. But it's a little funky too.
Listen,
Got some age on it.
yeah, Tellagio got some age on it. So when you, it's acquired, but it's real. I had that when I was in Seattle, and I'm blown away by it. That's one of my that's because I like brie, and the way that I would serve the Tellagio was because I'm from the South. I'll put a pecan smoke on it. Come on
Mm,
now, a
Ooh,
pecan
mm.
smoke with a tomato a bacon jam. Come on,
ooh,
come on,
ooh.
man, come on. Come. I
I want
and
to take. I want to take
since you like
before we keep
Mhm.
this conversation going because I think we're really having some really deep and interesting conversation. I want to take my hat off real quick to a chef
Uh-oh.
that just passed away, Chef Anne Burrell, who just passed away a couple days ago. We don't know the details of her passing, but again, talking about mental health, I have had quite a few friends, and in including we've had together in our world the passing of a few uh, n- chefs with lots of notoriety, who have passed away because of mental health and mental health issues. Um, one chef in particular that comes to my mind. He was a super talented young chef with going on 3 restaurants, and we had done a dinner together. As a matter of fact, he hooked me up with a dinner in DC, And later on, when I came back to Florida, we went to see. We had dinner together at this beautiful restaurant. A couple of days later, he put a gun in his mouth.
Wow.
And
And
that's the
again,
thing. That's
is
but
the
that's why I
reason that
say
we don't ask for help on time.
right.
We don't reach out to brothers, to friends, to colleagues, to family, um, when when it starts. We and then when we don't say anything, it's already too late.
But Stefan, I'm gonna ask a different question or I'm gonna bring a different point. But also, are we surrounding ourselves with people that have our best interests in heart? as as well. And when you're going through a lot of things, you may not be able to do so. But the people who rock with you, stand with you, who will call you out on the carpet for things that you're doing correctly or incorrectly, that they have your best interests in mind. But not everyone does. There's a lot of
No, no,
hanging
yeah, there
on
is.
and things like that.
But you know what? But what I find is this: if you have, like I do, I have a circle of people around me that's not in the food business, not in the food business at all.
Right, right.
So they are more than willing to tell me, dude, what the hell are you doing? If you don't sit your ass down somewhere, you know,
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
I know those people.
and here's the thing I always tell folks. I'm building this team for my upcoming projects. And one of the biggest things I always tell everybody on my team, I am not looking for a yes person. If when I give you an assignment, when I say, "Hey, here's my idea," I don't want to hear, "Okay, chef, we'll make it happen." I want to hear, "Chef, that ain't gonna happen because you missing this, and that." All right, cool. Don't just sit there and be like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, 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 yeah." No, because when it goes bad, they're gonna be the first ones to be like, "I don't know why the hell tell you who the hell told you to do something like that." We need the people around us to really stand up and say things that we don't want to hear because
And check us. Check
as you know, when you traveling and doing what you're doing, everybody's like, oh chef, how you doing, how you doing?" But you got that one friend like, "Man, listen, I ain't kissing your ass. This what you did, this what you don't shouldn't do. You shouldn't have been that drunk, you shouldn't have did this, you shouldn't have been driving. You
Mm.
need give me your keys, give me the damn keys, and we'll send you Uber." Those are the kind of people, because if you have that circle around you, then you can feel good that if anything is going wrong, those are the people that see those signs before even you see them. And that's what makes it happen. So you need to have those people around you. And even as you getting older as chefs, we as chefs are mentors. And because we've been through the storm, and like I always tell folks, you can't testify until you've been tested. And myself has been tested a lot. So I see things, and you just walk in restaurants and talk to cooks. You already know where they're going, but they don't know. And they'll tell you, "Here's my story." You be like, "Dude, if you don't change that story, it's not gonna have a good ending." Because they don't know.
Well, not only do they not know, they're not all meant to be in that arena
in that
as
arena.
well. Not everyone is. Just because you start out in the kitchen does not mean the kitchen is the best place for you. The restaurant is the best place for you, but not the kitchen. Some of the best mixologists came out of the kitchen. Some of the best food and beverage directors, and they
Well,
come out of the kitchen.
that's why as a chef, you see your cook not handling things, but you need to know your people. Because one of the things in restaurants is the front of the house and the back of the house. It's always been a war. That's the biggest civil war right there. The front of the house
Hmm.
versus the back of the house. So, but the problem is this. Whenever time I do consulting work, I always try to make sure that the front of the house knows the talent that's in the back of the house. Because if somebody goes to a table and they like, "Well, we don't know what we want." They're like, if the front of the house knows the back of the house is talented, they be like, "Look, what you want? fish, scallops, whatever, we can make it in the back. And
Hmm.
what that does is gives that cook a break from cooking the norm and get to express himself if the chef has the community that allows that cook to do that. That's the other thing. Chefs want the cooks to cook like them versus giving them a little extra. Like, here, let me see what you got. Go create a special for today. I'm gonna correct it and everything, but we're gonna give you that spotlight. Because if chefs don't give their cooks the spotlight, then they're gonna be like resenting the chef because like, I did all this work, but you get all the credit for it. You don't bring me out to say, and
Yeah.
I do this all the time. I do this
I
all the
mean, but
time. I tell people I work
Joe. I
with.
mean, Joe would bring us out all the time, though. I mean, Joe Randall would never allow that to happen. You know.
And I've
So
seen
here,
and I've
so here's
seen
the
the
other thing
same,
too.
and I've seen the same from Todd as well, man. You know,
Mhm.
But I've seen
he is
chefs.
more eager. He's more eager to showcase the talent that's working with him
Oh, most
than to
definitely.
showcase himself.
I got a project coming up that will showcase a lot of young chefs and cooks. But the other thing too is this: when you're working with these folks, some chefs don't utilize their staff because me personally, if I had a staff of ethnic folks, I don't care what your background is, whether it's Haitian,
Mhm.
Mexican, whatever, I'm going to utilize you for that retention. Because if I say, listen, I know I'm doing this dish here, but how do you do it in Guatemala? How do you do it in Mexico? Let's see, bring that in it. Now you bring them, make them truly part of the team. And when that dish goes on, everybody like, ooh, that's a great dish, chef. Yeah, that was Carlos in the back. He decided, he said that's how his grandmama did it. So that's how we just, put a dinner coat on it, but those are his flavors and things of that nature. That's how you make a team. I have a strong team and retention in your restaurant because that mental health, like, oh, I'm coming to work because the chef gonna tell me I can make a special. Now you have a group of people together.
I know we got a couple of minutes here. I just want to reiterate what you're saying. I could tell the story quickly. Four Seasons Hotel. This before that, it's called Florencia. It was Occidental Grand Hotel, and in the fine dining restaurant, the chef was making black trumpet risotto. And I'm like, I mean, this is so good. Where'd he get it from? And everything like that. And to come to realize that the dishwasher is from Haiti, and he's been making John John all the time. He was just bringing John John all the time, and so now on the menu there's this black trumpet risotto, stirring it every day, shallots and all this stuff, and that's like, what you? And it's like this. You got this from this dude, this dishwasher. At least put his name or give the dude some credit. But so what happened was
You
every
see what
time they
I'm
had
saying?
every time had an order, he had to leave the dish station and come up there. He was the only one then allowed to make the rice. That's my last. We got a couple of minutes here left from Roots Heart Soul
As
Podcast.
we
Chef Todd Richards, Chef Stephan on Heritage Radio Network. Go ahead, Stephan.
as we wind down to the hour, let's talk a little bit quickly, man, about your new project, your new podcast. You're going to be traveling. You're going to be linking up with
Yes.
chefs, farmers, um, everybody in the food and beverage world. Talk about Southern Passion Lounge, and then of course you're going to be playing golf,
Yes.
all while doing all of this.
Yes. So my it's called the Southern Passion Lounge. We're going to be traveling, playing golf, collaborating with local chefs, local farmers, highlighting off the beaten path places. Whether it's and the place could be either a speakeasy somewhere, just all about enjoying life to the utmost. And the big thing is I'm introducing some young talent. I have a project we're working on here with the podcast. I'll be introducing young talent. I'll be bringing in guest chefs from the region and outside of the region, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be doing pop-ups, and we'll have subscriptions, and depending on the subscription you get a text message about the pop-up. You never know who's going to be at the pop-up. It'll be me and somebody else, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. and I'm looking forward to it. So you can follow me on Instagram at the Southern Passion Lounge. Uh, Anything, I'm posting a lot of things on there right now. My email is southernpassionlounge@gmail. If you have anything that you want me to check out, any golf courses you want me to check out, any chefs you want me to cook with, and as you know, I know chefs from Seattle all the way to the Caribbean. So just pick somebody. I probably know them.
No,
And it's just gonna be a lot of fun. I'll be working with a lot of youth as well.
that's great. Stephan, go ahead and take us somebody here, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, another episode has been concluded. And how much fun did we have having an amazing conversation with my dear friend, Chef Amadeus. Thank you again for joining us on the podcast. Thank you for being part of our family, not only of our chef's family, but our friendship. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this 36th episode. Please make sure that you click, like, and subscribe, and also share. If you enjoy seeing us and seeing the conversation that we have, please connect with us on Instagram. Send us a little message. Give us a little note. Let us know how we're doing. We always willing to improve, but we're also willing to connect with anybody, not only in the food and beverage world, but everybody that's connected even outside the food and beverage world. So we want to talk to them. We want to have a conversation with them. So connect with us at Roots Heart Soul Podcast. Send us a DM. Let me know what's up. Let us know what's up. And join us not next Tuesday. Going to have to take a break because my man has a big grand opening that he's got to work on. New restaurant. He's always busy. Okay. But we'll connect the Tuesday after next and for another episode of Roots, Heart.
And so,
There you go.
thank you, everyone. Of course, check on anyone that looks like us, talks like us. But this podcast is
Absolutely.
dedicated to men's mental health. And you're listening to Roots Heart Soul Podcast on Heritage Radio Network.
Network. It doesn't take much to call a friend and say, what's up?